All right. Hello, everyone. It's Michael here, and I just thought I might do this little live stream because I just thought I might just do something here just to give you guys a bit more content regarding to miniature railway adventures, and just thought you guys might like to see a wee bit behind the scenes as to what way things are looking in terms of production-wise. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend the next hour or so just going through some various animation bits that I need to get done, which are required, and and I'll probably show you guys how I go about making it, and how the whole process is done. I did a live stream with this regarding this. I think some months back there with my friends Kirsty and Robert, and they were there with me just as um, spectators, I suppose, as more or less. I think also just for support wise, just to see how the process is all done, and just showing you guys how I did the animation. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to be doing animation pieces for the opening titles for Miniature Railway, and the basis for it is loosely similar to the TV series Heartbeat. If you guys remember the series Heartbeat, it had this nice intro sequence of the Yorkshire Dales with the North Yorkshire Moors Railway being featured in a few parts of it there. But they also had like the cast members being appeared in front of the valleys of Yorkshire out there, and this is something similar I would like to try and do with Miniature Railway. Have the characters appear with like clips of them from previous episodes or upcoming or previous episodes, playing in the background of them, and they'll be on like a bluish sky type backdrop type thing with maybe some clouds of steam or whatnot from a passing train or whatnot. But again, this is only going to be the test episode, so we might not have all that done at that stage. But we'll see how things go and see what needs done. So a while ago, I did do a preview episode, like a wee preview video of what's been done so far with the test episode. It was more or less like an April Fool's type video, but you get a wee taste of the opening titles. So we've done the first three characters in the titles. So let's move on to the next lot here. So we need to have, according to the animatics, we need to have Mark Carson has to come up next, and then Jane, and then Bernard Gears will also appear in this. So the software I'm using is Moho. Originally was called Anime Studio, but it's now called Moho. And I've been using the software now for quite a few years now. I first bought it when it was called Anime Studio back in, oh god, when was it? Well, I actually got it as a Christmas present actually, because I asked my folks if they could get it for me, because I really wanted to do Miniature Railway in animation form, and so they got it for me. And I probably may have already told this story before, but anyway, so yeah, I got it, and it took me a while to try and get an idea as to how the whole thing worked and how it all went together. So I'm just going to get Cars's profile right. This is a new rig of Cars, because I had to redo it again, because I think it was because his basically his upper half was not right. It didn't look right at all, and plus his head was also quite bad as well. Looking at it again now here, I still think there is some issues with the head. I mean, look at the size of his ear. That's huge. But I think that's probably just down to like little characteristics, I suppose. I'll probably, at some point maybe after this test episode, I'll probably give the characters a whole bit of a revamp, tidy them up a bit more, and maybe give them less sketchy appearances. But I don't know. Some people say that's actually quite the charm of them. They quite like the look of it. Anyway, there is something else here. I need to part of this rig. Where's the animatics here? Sorry, let me just find the animatics for the opening titles, because I need to know how this all goes together. Now, if memory serves me here, Cars is meant to be holding his clipboard, and I do have a clipboard somewhere. Where did I put folder. Is it in the artwork folder? No, it's not there. Yes. Okay, it's in that folder. Okay. Right. Well, sure. I'll drop it into the scene here. Okay, select layers. Okay. So this here was drawn a while back. With I had if there's any like hand poses that I needed for the characters, I would often have to draw them myself, and would then have to try and copy them out as best I possibly can. Okay, that goes into that folder there. Now the next thing I have to do is try and scale these up. Just check the live chat there. Okay, we don't have much going on in the live chat, but never mind. Right. Let's get this guy posed. Okay, so first of all, whenever I go about starting the scene or the shot or anything here, I have to check all my settings here. So there's various ways of getting different types of animation here. This wee drop down menu here gives you some of the samples here. So you have linear, smooth, ease in, ease out, Bezier, step, noisy, bounce, elastic. I've mostly used either smooth and Bezier. I think Bezier is often considered the most common used in animation. I do remember when I was working with Paper Owl, we were doing God, which one was it? Was it Happy the Hoglet for ITV? We were using cell action, and I think one of the settings on there was that we were using Bezier rather than smooth. I'm not sure why, but I'm sure there was a reason behind it. But for now here, I'm just going to use smooth because I quite like it. The animation flows better. Right. Next, also what I need to do is to scale the character up. So one thing I do like about Moho's scaling is that when you click the transform layer, anything you hit. If you hit like the corner slab here, it scales the whole thing up here. But if you hold Shift, then you can actually like change the whole thin width of them. But I just found that quite handy. Okay, from there like that. Okay, then I have to select his hand. Okay, let's see if there's any fluttering. Yeah, that's better. Like that. And I wonder actually, can I actually change this, copy the scale of that there? No, I don't think it said anything about the scale options. Just mostly just mainly the Y and X's. Oh well, I'll just do it by eye. Okay, so go to the clipboard option. There we go. Right, I'll just hold it there. Okay, it's a bit too big. That should be okay. Flip that around. Rotate that. Oh yeah, but also, oh come on, be here. Oh, sure, I'll just I'll just deal with it. Okay, that hand needs to be in front there. Yeah. Okay. Okay, now I need to pose him. So when it came to making the characters are all drawn in Photoshop. I've now moved on from Photoshop because the Adobe subscriptions were getting really, really expensive for me to pay. And so I thought, I'm going to move on from something else. And so I decided to use Clip Studio. Clip Studio Paint for designing my characters now. So I've only just recently, just not long, got it, and I'm just still working my way around using it. Okay, so obviously some parts of the character's rigs don't always hook up that well. I mean, if you look at here, like Carson's elbow is not really properly connected up here. So I have to jiggle the rig around in order to get the pose I want. Sometimes I would often end up breaking the skeleton of the character, which sounds painful, but it's not really that. It's not really that serious. Okay. Now, obviously, here his. Which layer is that now? Okay, that's that one. So it needs to go behind there. Okay. Okay, now I just need to tidy this up. Obviously, when it comes to doing animation out there, obviously there is like quite a bit of prep work before you actually get around to actually doing the actual animation itself. And this is kind of the process I would often have to go through. Sometimes if I'm doing, when I used to work on the animations for like of Happy the Hoglet and another series called Ladybird and Bee, sometimes it would take me a while just to like fully prep the scene. We often have we do have in the studios like a group of people called the scene prep team, and they would basically be the ones who would assemble the shots for us and put all the characters in. And sometimes they would give us like a little bit of blocking to work on or to use for references, but mostly depending on the time schedule of the actual animation itself or the series, we would often have to just do the blocking ourselves and do the scene prep in advance. But yeah, for this new production I'm on right now here, where I'm working as a scene prepper, and we're doing quite a little bit of blocking, but not too much. Okay, I think we're getting there. We're slowly getting there. I'll just narrow his arm just a little bit. There we go. Just to get it like that. And then, right, just bring it there. Bring the hand up to there. Okay, and then okay, well, maybe this one will have to go in front. Right. You can see the sleeves actually clipping the clipboard there, so I need to adjust the rig again, so that doesn't happen. Oh, I want this arm. That's it. There we go. All right. Just a head there. No, I think it's okay. Now just do a wee check with the hand movements, just make sure everything's okay. Okay, animation there is okay. Just need to move his arm back. So there we go. Just retesting there so that. Oh yeah, actually I can actually put that behind the clipboard. What was that about? I don't know. Let's see around. Where's the around? Right. Yeah, that looks better. Much better. Just move that a wee bit there closer. Again, just testing. You know what I should have actually done when I was designing this clipboard hand pose was to add a bit of detail, like have like Model Engineer Society insignia on the clipboard, because then that would give a bit more of like a just more like a bit of a label in terms of like who's this for, whose society this is from, or which business and all this is part of. All right, so let's get started with the animation. Chrissy's on the live feed. Hello, Chrissy. Right. Oh, just give me a wee second. Before I start any animation here, I'm just going to let May out here. She's looking outside here. So just bear with me one real quick minute. Apologies about that. Okay, where was I? Right. Okay, so that's the rig's arms and hands and all sorted here. Just need to get his expression sorted out. Now, in the series, Cars is a bit of a stern character at times. He's basically the main authority type, one of the main authority figures in the series, and he always has this bit of a stern expression on him. And I'll just change that around, change the other eyebrow because it looks. There we go. There's a stern expression. It looks a bit too cross here, so let's just raise the eyebrows just a wee bit. Still looks a bit too cross. You would only get like this cross whenever he's encountered the Motor Car Society. Let's just put a bit more of a. That's it. How does that look? Okay, just let's see. Can I lower his eyes down a bit? Yeah, lower his eyes down just so that he looks. It looks as if he's looking at the clipboard. So just grab a quick drink here. Some I'm having some Maine American cream soda is what I'm currently drinking at the moment, because it was reduced at Tesco, and I was able to get more on my club card points if I bought it. All right, so real good for animation here. Right, how long do I want this animation to be here? So next thing to do is to look at the animatic, which I have somewhere stored on my channel. Okay. YouTube's being a bit lagging for me at the moment. Oops. Come on, YouTube, catch up. Yeah, it's just like clipping on me at the minute here. I'm just trying to get it to catch up here. I should have just got my digital copy, my own saved copy. Do you know what? Just get the one from the folder, because right now YouTube's not playing ball. Well, that's why it's not working. It's because I have Facebook open up. Apparently, I don't know whether this is actually a glitch or something, but Facebook seems to be, every time I open Facebook, it always seems to glitch my computer for some odd reason. I don't know why. I don't know if that happens to you guys as well, but it seems to do that to me quite a lot. Okay, well, anyway, yeah, I've got the animatic saved here. Yes. Now, it's not the full animatic, but it's just a like a half edit. Actually, do you know what? Why don't you guys do you guys want to have a watch of it? I'll show you guys just what the opening titles look like. Can I change the screen? All right, hang on. Let me just change. Okay, yeah. So this is only a work in progress here. So it's not. This does not include the actual theme music for the new version of the theme song here. This is just still using the original theme tune. The other thing, I think this is. I think. Hang on, just let me check here. Is this the working titles one? The work in progress one? Yeah, this has. Yeah, this has the new one edited in. All right, well, I'll have to turn the volume down on this one, because I don't want you guys to hear it just yet, because it's too good. It's too good. It's too good to play just right now. Anyway, yeah. So this is what the work in progress for the opening titles look like for Miniature Railway. If it plays. So this is just the rough animatic for the opening titles. So obviously you would have seen this in the preview video back in April. This was on like a little train simulator setup that was made for me. And of course, I drew these very bad animatics. And of course, yeah, this is just how the opening titles is going to look roughly. So there's Jane. We'll be working with Jane very shortly. Grinding Gears, Mechanics, Martin Williams, Motocross Society. And this is kind of like, how I visualize like the opening titles is going to be. Yeah, that's just our rough logo that we have. So we have a new one that was made for me by a good friend. So we have the title. I have Mark Carson's bit here, so I just need to time how long he's on screen for. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we'll make that 5 seconds on screen. Okay, look at Jane. To be honest, actually, ever since when I started doing the animatics, I started to get a bit more. I started to get a bit more skilled with drawing the characters, because I really haven't drawn the characters that much in the lifetime of working on the series. Because I have to like constantly like rely on mental visualization as to how they appear, and I just think that's that's just how I function sometimes. But some people often find it a wee bit difficult. How do they visualize the characters through my vision? And this is kind of like roughly. Well, this is mostly like how I visualize the characters. Like for Mark Carson, this is like since the very start. This is how I thought he would look like. He's based off an old school friend that I used to have. The last time we made contact with each other was we just stumbled across each other in Tyne, and he was like, "Oh, great to see you. Great to see from you." 3, 4, 5. So that'll be 120 seconds. 120 frames for 5 seconds. Okay, so what we need to do is to have Cars do a little scribble on his thing. First of all, I need to have him lean down just a bit. It's a bit too far. Right, that's still quite far. Again, we just need. It's all a matter of just like practicing. Sometimes I have to practice the animation before I actually start. Okay. And then hit these bits here. So this is the transformation bone feature. So what this does is that it allows me to select the bone's skeleton, like the various parts of the bones on the skeleton, and then I'm able to move them around. So if I select the bottom of this here, I can move Cars's head, and that just detaches it from the rig. And if I hit the top part of the bone here, I can make him stretch and compress. So I would use these mainly for like if the character is just like slowly either like reacting or maybe during parts of walk cycles, just to have a little bit of very little stretchiness in them, but not too much. So usually I would just move down just by 1 decimal. But in this case here, I have to select them first, because if I don't select them first, if I play back the animation again, the animation for the stretchiness there would start too soon. So this is basically me making the marking point or the starting point for it. And then it's a matter of knowing how long or like how quickly do I want this to happen. So I would make the selection here, then judge whether or not that's too slow or too fast. So if it's too slow, I would just highlight here and then just move it a little closer to the starting point. So this speeds up the animation a bit more. Okay, that seems to be fine. I need to also select these parts here of Marcus's rig, just so that I know that this is a starting point now for this part of the animation. Now the stretchiness there, curvature there. Okay. Just bring that a bit further. Okay. And then if I want to go back and make him go back to it again, I'll just copy the first frame. Then he just comes out of it. But then what I would do then is that I would just change the pose slightly Okay, now you see there was a little jitter there. That's something I just have to try and find a way of fixing. So sometimes that would be on, yeah, it would be a bit too soon or too late. I would just have to go back and forth and make sure I just iron it out slightly. Sometimes it would work. Sometimes there's no way I can get around it. And I just have to find a better solution to fix it. Okay, I'll just delete that and just start a new one again. Okay, that seems okay. I think it's just maybe because I moved the arms. That's probably what was causing it. That should be okay. Now to make him look towards the audience. Oh, hang on. May's looking back in again because it's just started to rain again. She was looking to go out there. Now she's looking back in again. Hold on. Sorry about that. It's always the same with May. She just doesn't know when to make her mind up. Maybe she wants to go in or go out. She does this thing now where she just sits at my front door and just growls or barks in order for me to come down and let her in. But she would do this like literally maybe a short time after I've just let her out. And I'd be like, why can't you just spend more time outside? Okay. For some reason that's copied over. I don't know what that is. Okay, so he's looking towards us. And then just have him do a little blink to transition the expression. Okay, should have moved the eyebrows before. Okay. And then have the eyebrows kind of a bit more high up there because he's realized, oh, he's looking at us, the audience. And then we have his more cheerful eyebrows. There we go. And then I think have him change his smile to, let's see, you change the expression here. Can I get the onion skin on that there? No, don't think I can. I thought I could. Never mind. See, the neutral mouth shape, I should have actually made that a bit more noticeable. Because it would help make the transition a bit more easier. Okay, that's it. If I maybe move the mouth down, see if that might work. Just experiment and see what works. No, that doesn't look right. Okay, one of his eyebrows is moving when it shouldn't be. Sneaky keyframe made itself known there. Okay, let's have a look at that playback now. I'll do the pencil scroll just a wee minute here. Okay, he needs to look down a bit more, but that should be okay. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, that's good. I like that. Okay, so next thing you need to do now is to scale him up a bit more so that he feels like basically his up half of his upper half fills the screen. So this blue box here, this blue thing here, that's basically the screen. So that tells you like tells me how much I need to fill the screen for. So that should be enough for him. Yeah, that's good. Okay, save that. Now I have a folder on my hard drive, which I've done it very similar to how we do the layouts for our animation libraries at work, just so I give it like that feel. For me, like, it makes me feel a bit more professionalized as to how everything's all laid up and how it's all saved and arranged, just so I have everything all cataloged and correctly placed. Just noticing here a few people that are just asking questions there, so I'll just well, one person's asked a question there, but I'll answer in a wee minute. Right. What I also need to do as well, I need to, before I do anything else here, I need to move cars down a bit more, because what I need to do next here has to be, there we go, that's better. Yeah. All right, so this might strain some people's eyes, so just bear warning. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to put a green screen, or in this case a blue screen, behind cars. And that's because I'm going to use that there for when I'm inserting the characters into a scene, and when I'm doing all my compositing. So all the characters are all being animated in front of a green or blue screen. And because they're all going to be integrated with a model set, I want to make sure that it doesn't interfere with the actual set itself. Sometimes I can work the actual shot in, but it would take a lot more work to do. And it just takes a long time for rendering's sake. So what I do is I basically just film the characters in front of a blue screen or a green screen layer, and then I just chroma key them into the model shots during post editing stages, and then just play about to make sure it all works okay. And it also makes composition a bit more easier as well. So if there's like any shadows not there, it makes that a lot more easier for me. There's one particular shot I did with Jane where she's I don't want to give much away, but she's walking around somewhere, and I just did this really cool comp shot where she's walking past something here, and I just have this nice shadow layer just cast over her face, and I thought, oh, that looked pretty good in post. So yeah, but the reason why I'm using the blue screen here is that obviously he's wearing blue trousers, and I don't want that to interfere with the actual keying of this. So that should be all good to go. Just say that again, just make sure everything's all nicely backed up, and I just have to export the animation. And that's just double checking to make sure that's going to the correct folder. Which it is. And yeah, just need to export it out. Now, I must admit here, my type of animation that I'm using, it's not all that good. I have to admit, it's not really all that good, because obviously with Carson's rig there, you can easily see there's a few flaws in like his arms out there. Sometimes the rig can break in parts here, but it's usually sometimes just down to how I've designed him, and I make things a bit more easier, try and make things a bit easier for me. Sorry, I'm just seeing this post here that Kirsty just shared. Anyway, where was I? Oh, I lost the thread. Oh yeah. Regarding the rigs, yeah. So I kind of wanted to get that sort of like I think I wanted to try and keep the rigs a bit more simplex, just so it's a bit more easier for me to work with until I'm ready to like expand a bit more and maybe add areas. Maybe whenever I redesign the rigs again, I would have like little, I think they're called vertex points. I think that's what they're called. So basically when I'm designing the character's shapes and so like each proportion of the character's body, like down to like the various shirts, the sleeves and the cufflinks and all that, they'll be all like separate layers, and there's just be like a whole list of layers on this character rig that I have to like make up just for this, just maybe for this one piece of clothing for this character. And if any time when I'm animating the character and a certain part of the clothing needs to react, I can actually select these little vertex points and then move it around, and that'll create a little keyframe for me to to work with, just so it gives a bit more life, so that it's not just the separate limbs that are moving, but it's also the clothing is also interacting with the limbs as well, if that makes sense to you guys. When I worked on the series Liban, we had to do quite a bit of that as well, and also like even down to adjusting the limbs themselves, because sometimes the limbs slightly change in shape depending on what the character's doing. So even if they're doing like a slightly like a hand, not a hand, but an arm bend or whatnot here, so like doing that there, you know, obviously you can see that square bit of the elbow is not, you can easily tell that's a block, you know, but we would have to like readjust the control points of the limb, so it's a bit more smoother, and then we would go back and forth and say like, right, okay, does that work or does it not work? And yeah, then I just have to see how it works and then carry on to the next move. All right, so that's cars now done here. How are we for time wise? Well, how long have I been on here? Okay, been on here for like 40, just about 45 minutes or so, or over. I'll see if I can get another one done here, and we'll get on. We'll call it quits for then, because I need to. As soon as I finish this here, I need to go back to my studio and start filming the next couple of shots for this test episode. So, yeah, let me just answer this one quick question here. Alexei LNER J72 just briefly asked me here. So, how does it feel to work on the official TV series? I'd say you're referring to me working on Thomas and Friends. I haven't, to be honest, I haven't worked on Thomas and Friends now since 2021 now. So yeah, I'm pretty much now finished with it, as far as I know. If Mattel want me to come back, then fair dues. I'll see what's happening, but nothing really has come on my way. So yeah. But to be honest, I kind of want to take a bit of an extended break away from Thomas for a while, just to try and focus on some other stuff, and just take a wee small holiday away from Thomas, because I think I'm just at that stage now where I'm kind of ready to slowly move on from Thomas, because I've been with it now. I've been interested now for quite a number of years now. Here, I still enjoy it. I still, not gonna lie, but yeah, I think it's just now time for me just to move on, just to focus on other stuff and see what else is out there for me just to have a try at. But yeah, working on the TV series. Yeah, I thought it was great fun. Met some really nice people, and got to made some new friends there, and managed to learn some new tricks when it comes to like writing stories, and also just like in terms of storytelling in general. Like, so yeah, but yeah, mostly just like meeting up with friends and getting to meet other people who I looked up to in terms of writing, and also from childhood as well. So yeah. All right, so now we've done Mark Carson. Let's move on to the next character, and that is Miss Jane Wilkinson. Now, Jane is her rig was pretty much simple enough to do. Some of the character rigs are made using like the same assets from other characters. So, for example, Corpse's rig uses the same torso and basically uses the same body structure as Whitehouse, but just like there's a slight change in his appearances. So the head profile is slightly altered. Also, the change of hair color has also been heavily made, and the he's also been given like his trademark baseball cap and out there. Jane Wise, yeah, she was. I think she was like one of the few who was like had to have a rig specific rig design specially made for her. So actually, I might show these in a few minutes here, but let me just get Jane imported in first here. Okay, here we are. Here's Jane, and in the series, she is voiced by the wonderful Kirsty, or Rosie the Cutie, as she's known in the fandom. I just want to open this as well here, because this is something I recently did here, and this is just like to try and see what can I do with terms of character posing. And I decided to have Jane be the test subject for this here, because I just thought it would work well. These are just a couple of test poses I've done with Jane to see what can she do, what way can I pose the rig, and what limitations do I have with the rig. And yeah, it actually looks quite good. I'm actually really impressed, like, you know, how far the rig can go in order to get the right poses. But yeah, in this case here, Jane is going to be, let me see, we have her in her 3/4 left pose here. Where's the animatic? Need to see wherever she is. She looking towards the camera, or was she in a quarter pose? She's in a quarter pose. Okay. Now, is she in the animatic? She has her arms folded, and I don't think I have a design with her arms folded at the moment. So let's just try and see what we can do with this rig. Okay, first of all, scale Jane up. Nope. There we go. Okay, right. The hands are not attached. Why are they not attached? They're not attached to the right bone structure. That's why. Yeah, both of them are attached to the same bone. Let's change that. Okay, so that's clearly the wrong one. Okay, that should be it now. Quick test. Okay, and then that's, yeah, basically the rest of her arms are not. Okay, so the whole skeleton is not attached. Right. I should have done that from the very start. Well, I'm surprised why. I'm surprised I haven't actually attached that on. It's strange. I need to go back and sort that out. So, oh yeah, sorry. What I'm doing here is I'm actually just binding the layer to the bone structure. So that's when it comes to importing the rigs that they're, it just tells the skeleton which layer each bone is selected to, and which layer the bone has to control. So I have them all labeled in various names. I think that's the correct one. Okay, let's just check that and just make sure everything's all working correctly. Okay, yeah, that's not working. That's not right. So where did I go wrong there? Okay, so that's meant to be for that one. Right leg top, right left leg lower. That's meant to be for that one. Okay, try it again now. I mean, the legs aren't actually meant to be moving in this shot anyway, but it's just to make sure that these are all fully attached. Okay, right, that's working fine. Arms. Okay, arms are fine. Body, head, good. The only one part of Jane which I think this is posable. Yeah, it is. Yeah, the ponytail is posable, yes. Okay. Pose it right there. Because Jane likes, I don't know why I gave Jane a high ponytail. I think that was just like an old 90s thing or something I remember. Some of the girls that I knew had that. It was like part of a fashion. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to pose Jane to make it look as if she's folded her arms. That's going to be tricky. How can I go about that? The one option I could do is to very quickly draw Jane with folded arms. But depending on the time-wise. Speaking of time, how long have we got? Nearly an hour or so. Yeah, I'll probably just I'll carry on for another half hour. Yeah, another half hour. We'll try and get Jane's animation done first, and then we'll finish off. Okay, so oh yeah, I forgot to go to the first frame in order to do this. Right. Again, this is another problem here. See, when I designed Jane's rig here, I forgot to curve off this bit, and it's gonna make making the hand posing a wee bit tricky. But I might find a way. I might have a way to fix this. Just let me deal with this bit first, and then I'll crack on with how I'm going to fix this. It might not work, but it's just something I think would work. Because I only started trying it out, and it was okay, but not really much. Okay, hand poses. So now, when it came to designing the hands, all these hands here, I actually had to take off. I got them all off an image I found online where it just had a whole selection of these different types of hand poses, because the amount of time it's going to take me to actually draw all these hands, because I didn't know exactly how many poses I was going to need. So I just thought, well, I'm just going to take these and just recolor them. That one there actually might be quite good for her right hand there. So let's make a note of that there for number 20. Have I got any post notes? Just like myself. Yeah. Don't have your hand. Chat, just remind me. Just type down 20 in the live chat, just so I can remind myself. Just so I can remind myself which hand pose is going to be used for the right hand. So it's number 20. I'm going to be using. So you guys are helping me out. Aren't you lucky? Okay, so let me see. Trying to do just doing the arms folding pose myself. So it's right hand goes over, but then hides underneath there. Left arm goes over right. Right wrist goes under the right arm, upper arm. Right arm goes so. I'm sorry. This other hand shape there's just going to bother me here, so I'm just going to make that hand change now. just whilst it's in my head there. So there we go. There's the hand change. Need to mirror that to make sure it's correct. Yep. Making sure that the thumb is in the correct place. This might not look right, but I don't know. I'm just trying to make this look good. I think probably after this, I'm just going to start consider drawing an arms folding pose for Jane. Do you know what? I think that's probably going to be the safest option here. So let's just just hide Jane's arms just for a moment. So Jane's going to be armless for a bit. There we go. And then I'll get onto Clip Studio Paint. I'll change windows here for you guys. Oh, thank you, Kirsty. Put the note in for me. Okay. Change the camera. Studio Paint. Okay, right. All right. So I need to open Jane's rig. Character rigs. Rigging, character rigs. Jane Wilkinson, where are you? There you are. All right, so this gives you an idea of the whole breakdown. It's like how the characters is drawn. So it's all done like this whole turnaround. Okay, so we're looking for the 3/4 pose for Jane. Okay, that's the one I'm looking for. 3/4 left. Now, obviously, she hasn't got her hands here because I've, as I said, the hands were like a separate layer type thing that I made up. Okay, just grab my graphics tablet and pen. I wonder if it's plugged. How I got this plugged in? I have. Good. That's a good sign. All right, so take this background filter off here. I'll get a new one on, just so I can see the brush strokes a bit more easier. Okay, so change that to white. Oh, didn't realize it did that. That's interesting. Never mind. Right. Now to do the rough outline for Jane. You get the thing back up again. Let's try different pencils here. All right, I haven't selected the black layer. Brush mode. Yeah, that's a good one. So I find the mechanical pencil brush to be quite good for this face. Right. So let's see. Just tracing around her arms there. Hang on, if I just change the opacity there just real quick, that's better. Because there's a bit distracting me there. Just change that like that. No, it's not right. Hang on, I need to get a reference. Okay, that looks okay. So her arms will come down, her top arm will come down to here. There's about two. If you look in that. Okay, and just realized now I've accidentally selected the blotting ink layer brush tool. Never mind. I can use that just as a reference. And oh, hang on, that's wrong. Oh, got that wrong. Actually, hang on a sec. It might actually be possible to use the rig. Hold on a sec. Let me just try this again. Try it again here and see if I can get this pose out. Because I was looking at that reference pose. I was looking at it on Google Images there, and there's a pose there I think like that could work if I'm careful enough. Okay. Right. So this wouldn't. It's just a matter of just getting the layers right, corrected up. That's all. So if I just undo all these here. Right. Okay. Starting again. Okay. So this will be the front layer. Here will be here. Okay, so this one here will be on top of this one. Yes, that's it. Okay. And yes. Yes, she's basically just doing like a mirrored version of how I fill my arms. It's pretty much the best I can do, really. Okay. Now I need to find the right hand pose now for this. I did see one somewhere amongst the list. Was it this one? No. I think it was in the 20s section. Yeah, this one. Grab that. Select that. Mirror that. Rotate you there. Yes, there we go. It's a bit pale though, but I'll have to make do. Okay, that's 26. Okay, make that note. 26. And just adjust the posing there. Shorten the transformation on there. Rotate you there, move you down there. Obviously, I will fix this off here, probably with a mask or whatnot. Maybe there, maybe down there. Oh wait, that needs to extend. Extend a bit more there. Nope. See, it takes more. You take more time posing than you do with doing the animation. That's usually some of the things that happens in this in this line of work. Okay, we're getting there. We're slowly getting there. Right, just need to change that other hand. So referencing. Okay, it looks more like slightly a bit like a fist in some regards. Right. Let's have a look, see what we have. So that was in the 20s. Let's see if there's any others. Oh, there it looks okay. Obviously, it needs to be a bit more work though, but we'll work. I'll try some. I'll sort something out here. Just trying to do a bit of a tidy up. Oh, what was that? Shoot, I forgot to see what number was that under. Oh, that one there is okay. That's the same as before, isn't it? Yeah, could probably go with that one. I don't know. So that's 26 again. 26. Right, I just need to tidy this up now. And then we can do the animation. Again, back to posing. If I put that hand behind the arm, would that work? Just try and blend it in slightly. Again, as I said, like, you know, these rigs aren't my best. But like when you're doing like this your own thing, you have to make do with what you have available. Or what you can use with what you have at the time. Or how much time you have to design the rig. That should be more of a better way of putting it. Okay. I think that's probably the best we're going to get out of this. In terms of like Jane with her arms folded. It's not the best, I grant you, but what can you do? What can I do? Anyway, it's only for this shot anyway, so. All right. Oh, that wee bit with her elbow is still bothering me a bit. Let's see, can I extend that just so I can just hide that? It's not the best, but it'll have to do. All right, so in the animatic, it shows Jane leaning over a counter. So obviously we don't have. I don't think I have an image of the counter. Do I? Do I have any still shots of the counter in the mesh room set? Not from the angle. There is a shot made for Jane in one of the scenes, but it's not. No, I haven't done that yet. So yeah, I'll probably film that later today. I'll get that shot filmed. Anyway, let's do the final poses on Jane here, just so that she's all set and ready to go. So she's leaning across. Actually, that's actually a better pose actually than I had originally. Okay, have a look at the audience. Yeah, her eyebrows have gone a wee bit distorted there during the design work. So again, these are probably ones that I'll have to fix at one point. Just adjust that arm a wee bit. Yeah, that actually looks okay. Let's get her up just a wee bit more, just so we have. Just so I have something to work with. Come post. All right. Same as before, 5 seconds, 120 seconds. Again, Jane doesn't really do much. She just basically looks up and smiles at the audience. So, starting poses. Okay, you're all set to go. Oh, one thing I should have done also was the transformation tools. There you go. Right, keyframe had started there, but let's see if we can fix that. Again, it's not really much movements in this, I must admit. Let's have her hair move back. Her ponytail. No, not her head. Let's label that. So, pose that first. Oh yeah, I forgot she needs to stretch out a bit more. Needs to go the other way, I think. It's slowly getting there. It's not just there yet. I think she needs to have a. Maybe if I move her mouth slightly more, that might help. Just gives like a little smile to the camera. Oh, that's better. That's better. That's more like it. If I move the mouth just a bit lower down, or a bit. And maybe just some eye movement. To be honest, I haven't actually animated Jane for a while. Wrong layer. The last time I animated Jane was probably back in February, where I had to animate a scene with her. But the next shot I'm going to work on after I've finished, I think it's scene 11. I'm working on finishing at the minute. It's just scene 11. It's the one. Scene 11 is the one with Bernard that I showed in the preview, the April Fool's preview clip back in April. So that's scene 11 in the episode's scene setup. So that needs finishing off. It's partially nearly done. I just need to do a wee bit more in it. But after that, then I'm going to do a scene with Jane Whitehouse and others, because I just haven't given Jane much time. Just haven't had much time to animate Jane, really. But it's always good fun animating her, I must admit. All right. All right. We seem to be getting there. Let's do a little settle there. It's a bit too much of a settle. All right, I'll do. I'll do for wee Jane. Okay, let's get green screen filter on her. So back to start. Shapes, square. Woo! And that's her ready to go on the set. So just need to save that into the scene. Jane insert is what I'll call it. Do a final check over the animation to make sure everything's all fine. Anything else needs to be added in? I think maybe that arm still is moving a bit here, so let's see. Okay, let's move this arm moves across a bit too much. Let's move you back. Yeah, that's it. That's much better. All right, put this back on. Save it again. Export. Animation ready for inserting into titles. Okay, that's right. Jane insert and export. And yeah, I'll edit that into the opening titles later tonight. Okay, guys, that will do us for this little live stream. I might do another one maybe later on, probably maybe before the year's out. Maybe animating a scene, or maybe doing some library animation that probably be needed, or something I'd like to experiment with. But yeah, thanks for those who came along to see it all progressing. And I might try and see if I can get a complete version of the opening titles ready, maybe to show you, maybe to reveal, maybe before Christmas or whatnot. There, but yeah, I do want to see if I get a final render of the opening titles done, so it's all set, ready to go. Okay, guys, thank you so much again. I'm gonna head off now and get some more filming done, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, all the best, guys. Thank you so much, and good evening.